Good morning and welcome to today's session of Imagine America Radio, our continuing Career College Exposition webinar series. My name is Bob Martin. I'm with the Imagine America Foundation. Joining me on today's session of Imagine America Radio is my foundation colleague, Lee Doubleday. Lee and I are extremely excited about today's career topic, the overlooked value of technical school certificates, sponsored by Universal Technical Institute, or UTI. UTI is this country's leading provider of high quality, career-focused education at 13 locations nationwide. UTI is also a 20-year sponsor of the Imagine America Scholarship and Award programs, having provided admissions-based financial aid to more than 16,000 enrolling Imagine America students. Without taking valuable time from our presenter, let me refer any and all inquiries about the Imagine America Foundation to our website, www.imagine-america.org.
Since our beginning in 1999, Imagine America remains a leading sponsor of scholarship aid to enrolling high school students. However, our country faces a serious shortage in certified technicians. We hear from employers in virtually all sections of the country desperately looking for qualified employees, so we need to do more. Our partner in today's presentation again is Universal Technical Institute, and joining us today to discuss in detail the technician shortage and how UTI is helping meet this need is Dr. Stephen Coyle. Dr. Coyle is a nationally recognized expert in this area with an extensive K-12 background. But before turning the program over to Dr. Coyle, let me outline today's agenda. Today's session of Imagine America Radio will be 30 minutes maximum, with question and answers at the end of the presentation. All participants can submit questions while the presentation is in session via the Q&A feature in this Zoom meeting. At the end of the presentation, I will then present any questions offered by the participants. We'll address as many questions as possible and provide written responses and follow-up emails if necessary. We'll have a hard close at 10:30 a.m. So without taking any more time out of today's presentation, let me turn today's session over to Dr. Coyle. Dr. Coyle, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Bob and Lee, and good morning, everyone, and greetings from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm here at the National FFA Convention, getting ready to kick off tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. But I want to get right into today's presentation and talk to you just briefly about UTI before I get really into what I want to visit with you about today. First of all, UTI is the leading provider of technicians in the transportation industry. We have 14 campuses nationwide. We have 12 that are active right now and 2 that are coming very soon. We have a campus in Austin, Texas. We also have a campus coming up in Miramar, which is down near Miami. So we're real excited about those 2 new campuses opening. But you might wonder, a nationwide training, is that significant? And it definitely is. It gives students huge flexibility in their career pathways, because you would be hard pressed to walk into a dealership and say UTI and they wouldn't know who we are. So having a presence nationwide really gives our students a huge advantage. We offer training in 8 different STEM areas: auto, diesel, collision, motorcycle, marine, NASCAR, CNC, and welding. You look at these and you think, okay, so I've got to fit into each one of these. But what you may not realize is there's literally hundreds of technician positions and careers open in each one of these. For instance, I get this all the time. Well, my son or daughter loves cars. They just love being around them, but they really don't want to turn wrenches or do anything like that. Is there something they can do? Absolutely. They could go to work for an insurance company. They could be a claims adjuster. They're always looking for our graduates for that. You know, when you hit a deer, you see everything that's damaged on the outside, but what you don't see is all the sensors and computers that were hurt on the inside, and a trained technician would know to look for that. Or you could be a service writer at a dealership. There's just lots of opportunities in this field. I talk to students that are really very art oriented. They love to draw and paint. I try to direct them towards collision repair, because people decorate their cars. They pin stripes on them, they paint the hoods, those kind of things. So there's lots of opportunities in this industry. We have over 35 alliances with manufacturers. This is huge, because these are who we're training our students for, to be quite honest. As I often say, we're not preparing students for Jiffy Lube, we're preparing students for BMW, for Mercedes, Porsche, GM, Ford, all these companies. These companies are very stable. They pay well, they have great benefits. So once again, it gives our graduates a huge advantage as they prepare for their career in the industry. But here's what I really came to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about you and how you partner with students and parents, the P word I always like to call it, but then also how we can partner with you too. So I want to spend a little bit of time with you. Let's start off first about how do you achieve success in today's modern economy? Well, you keep hearing all the time, you need skills, and that's true. You need technical skills, you need general education application skills. Oftentimes, educators and students and parents for that matter, they pit these against each other. They think, okay, so if I'm going to get specific technical skills like how to work on a car, how to plumb, how to weld, how to build a house. All right. So I have those kind of skills, so I don't need anything else. Or then you have the ones on the other side, they have the soft skills, as we like to call them. You know, the ability to communicate, to speak well, to write well, people skills, those kind of things. And what I'm telling you is that they need both. You know, I can work on your car, but if I can't communicate with you as the owner of the car on what is wrong with your car, how much it's going to cost to fix your car, then we're kind of left out in the dark here. So it's very important that we have those communication skills. And oftentimes schools like ours, they say, oh, you don't worry about those things. You don't worry about math and science and all those. Yes, we do. We're a STEM school. We do, but we incorporate that into the curriculum. So we also incorporate how to speak, how to communicate, how to write. All those, they go hand in hand with each other. So definitely we need both types of skills to be successful in today's economy. This statistic might really surprise you. 94% of all certificates and almost 60% of all associate degree programs are actually in career-oriented fields. You might think your students are going off to college to get their bachelor's degree. You might be wrong on that. They might be going off to college, but they're looking for something else. They're looking for a quick way to get to where they want to be. They want skills. They know they need the skills, but they don't want to spend a lot of time. You know, today's kids and how they're built. They're very much in the present now. What's happening? Let's go. That's why they Snapchat. That's why they text. They don't email. They don't want to take the time. It's too slow. And so these kids, and not all of your kids, some of your kids are looking for that longer education pathway. They're willing to go the 4 to 6 years to college. So not all of your students, but a lot of your students really want this quicker path, as I call it. And then along the same lines, about 50% of students taking undergraduate coursework are enrolled in certificate and associate degree programs. Once again, going back to the last slide, your students may be telling you, I'm going off to college, but what they're not telling you is what they're studying. They want to get into a program where they can get the skills they need, and then they want to walk out the door and have a career ready, and they can start making money, but they want to do it at an earlier age than ever before. And the other thing on that, to piggyback that, they're very attuned to student loans and expenses. They don't want to follow the path that their parents did. So once again, they're looking for an economical way to get to where they want to be too. So kind of go hand in hand with each other. There are all kinds of technical certificate programs out there. What I'm telling you is that you need to look at each program and look for 3 things. You want to look for industry relationships, you want to look for occupationally focused curriculum, and you want to look for employment assistance. So let's go back. Industry relationships, that's what I just showed you a little bit ago. We have over 35 industry relationships. We also have a huge number of partnerships too. Oftentimes schools will tell you, oh yeah, we have these relationships with our employers, whatever. Well, there's a difference between an alliance and just a relationship of some type. Relationship, yeah, they're hiring some of our students, but in an alliance, we actually have contracts with these people. We're going to supply a certain number of students. I mean, we're in it with them. So there's a big difference there, but the industry relationships are very important. Occupationally focused curriculum, going back to what I said earlier, our students are looking for a focused curriculum where they can get what they want. They're not into 20th century literature and Greek mythology and all that kind of thing. They're not really into that. And I'm not saying those are bad, but these type of students, they want to get the skills that they need and get out and get started working. And as I said before, we don't dispel math and science, the computers, the technology, all that. That's, like I said, we're a STEM school. We know those are important, but we put those in the curriculum and kind of fool a kid a little bit. We put a kid on a dyno, which is like a treadmill for a car, and we're going to raise horsepower by 10%. Well, you're going to do algebra, you're going to do geometry and that, but the kids love it because it's what they love to do, so they don't mind it. If I say, hey, we're going to do algebra all day, they groan. So there's a big difference. And then finally, employment assistance. We don't feel like we're done until we help the student to get into their career field where they want to be. And these play against each other too, or for each other, I should say, because if you don't have the industry relationships, it's tough to have employment assistance. We have to have those connections for our students. And the occupationally focused curriculum, that's what employers are looking for. What skills do you bring to the table? What can you do for them? So keep these three in mind when you're looking for a good technical certificate program. I want to switch gears now and go another direction. We are very excited about Ignite Worldwide. What is it? Well, it's an acronym. Ignite stands for Inspiring Girls Now in Technology Evolution. Ignite. And this program is opening the door for girls to get involved with STEM. Here at UTI, about 4% of our student population is female. We're not real proud of that. We would like to do something about it. And that's why we wanted to partner with Ignite. Ignite is trying to expose girls to a world that they've just never been involved with before. And it's really exciting to see what's happening. Kathy Rajveller, who's the CEO and founder of Ignite, started this back in 1998. And of course, when we saw this opportunity, we looked it over, we visited with Kathy and decided, hey, this is something we think we'd like to be involved with. I love their motto, you can't be what you can't see. And you think about that. How many of you know a female welder? How many of you have ever even seen a female welder, or a female auto tech, or a diesel tech, or a female carpenter, or a female plumber? And then when you do see one, it's like it's a novelty, like, oh, wow, they got a girl working here. Wow. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all. It should be that we should be embracing this, asking girls to come into this field because it's an exciting field and it's something they can do too. And that's why we really want to work with Ignite to see if we can increase the population of students that are female at our campus. It's really a 4-part process. Part 1 is we host students at one of our campuses. We just had one a couple weeks ago at our campus in Mooresville, North Carolina, our NASCAR Tech campus, and we had over 100 girls there. We form panels we call Women in STEM, so that these girls can talk to these women to see, hey, how did you get there? What obstacles did you have? Were you afraid? Was it hard? They can ask those kind of questions and feel safe. They're not going to be made to feel like, oh, that was a dumb question. This gives them an opportunity to find out what's going on. Then the second part, field trips. We have them come to our campus so they can see a true STEM school and how it operates. We take them to other industries where they can see what's happening as well. Learn more about it. A lot of times they don't even know some of these careers exist. Then the third part, workshops. How do girls know if they're going to like something if they don't get to try it? One of the things that we love to do is on our welding simulators, we have them do welding. They don't know if they're going to like it. They may not, but then again, they might. It might spark some interest in them. I've even had school counselors when they come to our campuses for LDIs and professional development and meetings of such of all kinds. We have them always do a STEM activity. And so one of the things we do is put them on a welding simulator. And I've been amazed at how well some of them have done. And then finally, the fourth part, we encourage them to go to conferences, go to breakout sessions where you can be around other girls who have interests like you do. And they also have the same questions you do, but there's safety in numbers. So they feel like they've got other people with them. They're not out there all by themselves. So once again, it's a great opportunity for girls to get involved into the STEM industry. Ignite's already gaining momentum. The National Science Foundation, the Anita Borg Social Impact Award, the Department of Education getting behind it. So there's lots of momentum here and lots of excitement about getting more women into STEM. But here's the statistic that really caught our eye and why we wanted to get involved. In the Seattle schools in 2013, less than 5% of the girls were involved in STEM. Less than 5%. We could identify with that because that's about our student population of females. In 3 years after incorporating this Ignite program, that jumped to over 50%. You know, it's surprising, but it's not. Because, you know, once you expose girls to STEM, they get excited about it. They want to do this too. They realize they can do it. And so the numbers were going to go nowhere but up. But we're hoping that's what's going to happen here at UTI and in other skilled trades as well, that once again, we're going to see an influx of more females into the STEM industry to get involved. We're very excited about the resources that we help to offer students to make their dream come true, to make their education affordable. We partner with FFA. That's where I'm at today. You know, we're going to see probably about 35,000 students in the next 3 days. So we have scholarships for that, for Skills USA, for Hot Rodders of Tomorrow, Top Tech Challenge. And then we partner with people like Imagine America Foundation, a huge foundation, very solid foundation that offers scholarships to students. Why wouldn't we want to partner with them? It gives our students a great opportunity, and Imagine America gives us a foundation to get our message out, just like I'm doing here today. And then we work with other scholarship programs as well too. But one of the most things I'm most proud of is with the alliances we have with the manufacturers. Like for instance, here at FFA, I am with AGCO. We have a huge booth. I was over there yesterday helping to set up. They brought in 3 tractors. You know, they want to show students what they have. What we want to show them is who's going to work on that stuff. You know, I think it's always important whenever you can combine industry and education together and let students see, hey, I'd love to work for AGCO. How could I do that? Well, you could go to UTI and go to the Fent training facility, which is going to be at our Lisle campus. That's we're having the grand opening December 1st. And so that students can see how they can get to where they want to be, the goals are. And we work with many other alliances with manufacturers as well. We offer over $15 million in scholarships, but I'm again, I'm pleading with you. If anyone out there knows how we can get kids to fill out more scholarships, please email me or text me or something and let me know, because it is difficult to get them to do that. But one of the things that we do that we're really excited about is the Tuition Reimbursement Incentive Program, or TRIP. This program has proven to be very fruitful for our students. It gives them a goal, a light at the end of the tunnel to work for, I guess. I don't know what it is, but they really love it. But these employers, there's hundreds of them across the country. They will offer students packages so they can pay off their student loans. You know, they can buy tools. They can buy other equipment. They can relocate to where they've been hired. They do sign-on bonuses. They do tenure bonuses. These packages can be anywhere from $10,000 up to $40,000. It's amazing. Fent, I was just telling you about in the training program, they pay the tuition for the student to study there, and they pay for their housing. You know, so industry is willing to invest in these students. it's very similar to what the medical field has done with the sign-on bonuses and tenure bonuses that they've done. But in the transportation industry, they've taken it to a whole new level. So it's a very lucrative package for students to, once again, to help them make their dreams come true. So 2 takeaways today. Takeaway number 1, high school counselors and educators can strengthen all post-secondary education pathways, including certificate programs. What I'm submitting to you is that CTE is no longer plan B. It's no longer the backup plan. It is the plan. We tell a student, well, yeah, you probably ought to try to be a doctor, but if it doesn't work out, well, you could always go work on cars. Well, have you opened up the hood of a new Volvo lately? It'll scare you to death. Those are highly trained technicians, right? So this is no longer the backup plan. We can't talk down to students anymore about this. This is their career pathway and what they've chosen. Let's support it. One of the things I always talk to counselors about is, using the term college fair. I'm not against college. I've got a few letters after my name, and you do too, right? I've been to colleges, but when you say college fair, they think about, the University of Texas. They're going to think Texas A&M, Texas Tech. They're not going to think about a trade school. They're not going to think about a cosmetology school. And so they feel left out. They feel like, well, if I'm not going to college, there's really nothing there for me. And quite the opposite is true. So we need to support all of our students, all of their successes. Just because they don't follow our career pathway doesn't mean it's not a good one. And then number 2, higher education leaders are instrumental in enabling students to acquire education beyond high school. We have to realize that advanced training is necessary in today's world. Yes, you'll have students that will go right to work after high school, and many of them can be successful. But some type of training, they say, well, we have a mentorship program. Remember, a mentorship program is only as good as the mentor. You get a bad mentor, you're not going to get the training that you need. Or if you get a mentor that's not patient with you, one to teach you everything, you're not going to get the training you need. So that's why it's important that because employers are looking for skills. What do you bring to the table? Our students, upon graduation, they take almost 80% of their credentials with them. That's huge to employer because they don't have to spend a lot of time and money training that student to get them up to where they want them to be. Finally, I just wanted to say that, I'm a retired educator. I know what you do on a daily basis. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. I know exactly what your days are like. Now, you just went through a COVID that was unreal. I can't even imagine. I never had to go through something like that as an educator, but still, I have a pretty good idea of what you do. You work with your students on career readiness, career pathways. You work with your students on STEM. You work with your students on getting them to the post-secondary level, and then start thinking about career opportunities, career choice that they have. What do we want to do? We just want to partner with you. That's all we want to do. We want to back up what you're doing. How do we do that? Well, we offer things like open houses at our campus. In fact, Joseph Montoya, who's the regional admissions director at the Houston campus, asked me to announce that on November 13th, they're going to have an open house and grant testing on that day. It's on Saturday, I believe. And you're welcome to come. Bring everybody. The more the merrier. We want to have a lot of people there. And on December 11th, we're going to host a Power and Palooza, which is a real fun event as well. So there's a couple of opportunities to come to our house, but we'll also come to your house. We'll come to your school. All right. We do in person. We do virtual. If you're still having COVID issues, we have a truck and trailer that we can bring out with STEM activities on it. We just want to reach out to your students and all of your students. Counselors tend to want to get just the ones they think are interested in auto and stuff. We want to talk to all your students because we want to talk about all kinds of opportunities for them. And who knows, somebody that you think might not be interested maybe is. So we love to talk to all your students, talk about career pathways, career readiness, STEM. I also offer professional development. If your school district is looking for a professional development of some kind, I can help you with that. And everything we offer is free. I know you love that word. So we will do that for you. We just want to partner with you any way that we possibly can. And then finally, here's my contact information. You had my phone number earlier in the presentation. Here's my email address. Please reach out to me if you have comments or questions, good, bad, indifferent. I don't care. I'd love to hear from you. If there's some way I can help you, partner with you, any way I can, I will do it. And as I said, everything we offer is free. We just want to work with you any way possible because we know the great jobs you're doing out there. We just want to support you in some way. Thank you so much for spending a small part of your morning with me. And I wish you the best of luck for the rest of your school year. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dr. Coyle. We are now going to open this up for the Q&A portion of our presentation. I've also launched a poll question there. So if you would like somebody to reach out to you about presenting to any of your students, similar information to what you heard here today, please indicate so on the poll so that we know who to reach out to after this. Dr. Coyle, it does look like we had a question come in. This person wants to know if they wanted to talk to one of UTI's local reps, should they go through you or go to the website?
Well, you can do either one. If you go to our website, it's very user-friendly. You can go in there and there will be a little box where you can make an inquiry. Just put in your name there and say, hey, I'm interested in a workshop or a STEM demonstration of some kind, something on those lines, and we'll definitely get in touch with you. But if you're not into that, you've got my email address right there. You know, send me an email. Let me know what it is you're looking for. I've been emailing with the counselors just this past week out in the North Carolina area, wanting some information and getting some things set up. So I'd be glad to help you either way.
All right. And the second question, this person wants to know, and I think maybe you touched on this, but can a student apply for FAFSA in order to come to the school?
Absolutely. And I did overlook that. Thank you for that question, whoever asked it. Is that yes, we are Title IV funded. So therefore we do require the FAFSA to see if you qualify for financial aid. And then of course we have Pell grants. We also then have our own grants and scholarship programs too. You'll have a financial aid advisor that will work closely with you, with the student and their family, and to help them to find the best package possible for them.
Dr. Coyle, Bob Martin, a real quick question comes in, has to do with programmatic and cost comparisons between community and technical colleges. Could you address that a little bit, please?
Absolutely. And I just wait for this one because I know it's coming. You know, the thing I would submit to all of you is you want to look for 3 letters, ROI, the return on the investment. That's huge. You look on the outside and you say, oh yeah, this school's much cheaper than this one. I'm going to go there. But you got to look at the whole package. So I start off first with the length of time you're going to be in school. You're going to be at the community college 2 to 3 years. That's just it. You know, they go by semesters. They have the summers off. They do spring breaks, all those kind of things. So it's going to be that long. At UTI, we're looking at 9 to 17 months. We don't take spring breaks. We don't do summers off because the industry doesn't, so we don't either. So while you're still in school at the community college, you're out making money at UTI. Number 2, you want to look at those manufacturers, the alliances. Yes, some of the community colleges, they'll offer 1 or 2 of those. We offer over 35. And so that gives you a lot of flexibility for careers, and you're going to get the top-notch training for those specific manufacturers. And then finally, the one I just talked about, the trip package. That's huge for students because it can help make their college, their education experience so much more affordable because they have money coming from the industry to help them to take care of those needs.
Great takeaways, Dr. Coyle. I appreciate it. I'd only add one more to that. I would just say, always be looking for a regionally or nationally accredited program, because by doing that, you know that the school has gone through the rigor of being accredited, and any student that gets referred to them is, as you said earlier in your presentation, eligible for federal financial aid, which is absolutely critical.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just, you know, everybody's thinking about, you know, their money, you know, and things are getting more and more expensive. So any way you can make your education experience more affordable, you know, so you don't have a lot of debt looming over you after you're done, the better.
So Lee, do we have any other questions before we close?
No, not right now, no.
Well, let me just remind our audience that the Imagine America Foundation has recorded this session and will be forwarding the recorded session to all the registrants. The foundation has also placed this session on our website, www.imagine-america.org, with very specific download instructions. I would really encourage you to take the opportunity to download it and take a look at the the material there and revisit it, because I'm sure if you're like me, you missed another point or you want to just review something. And then finally, my colleague, Lee Doubleday, is going to be doing a follow-up survey on this meeting so that we can better identify the good portions of it and what we can do better, and then possibly other topics that we can talk about. Before closing, I'd like to thank the participants for taking time out of their very busy schedules to join us. I'd also like to thank Dr. Coyle for sharing with us today's presentation. I'm always learning something from it. Encourage you, each and every one of you, to contact him directly with any questions. He's very accessible. On behalf of the Imagine America Foundation, Lee Doubleday and myself, goodbye and thank you.